What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the second album by Speedknot Mobstaz. Basically, this product is called Mobstability 2 Nation Business, and it came out in the spring of 2008. So the fair about this album is this is brought to you by Twista as far as what's going to happen. This comes out more or less on the heels of his late 2007 album Adrenaline Rush 2007 as far as what's going to happen. Now, particularly, that was a solid enough album. I want to say I give that album like a 10 out of 10, something like that. Definitely enjoyed that album pretty thoroughly. Go way back with that album. But it's just the pitch as far as saying, unfortunately, commercial wise, that did not do that terrific. Is kind of the pitch as far as saying that particular album really only had one or two singles off it, both of which did not do that terrifically compared to Twista in 2004 and 2005 with Kanye West and Pharrell and so on type folks. So this was the pitch that Pharrell tried to help out with Give It Up. That song just didn't hit as Give It Up didn't hit as wholesomely, and then Creep Fast with T-Pain kind of underperformed as well. Was within the pitch. They put out this next album here. Definitely good to get this particular fair. Now, unlike Mobstability 1, which I reviewed back in early 2020, as far as what's going to happen, this particular album does not have Twista on every full bound song. He's really on Twista lets Liffey Stokes and Maze do the particular work on here. He's really only on 4 songs as far as those fair's gonna happen, but still with the bitch, he helps out with like some ad libs and background vocals and choruses on the occasion. So this is kind of the fair as far as what's gonna happen. Nonetheless, this is a classic. Recommend all 15 of the songs that I actually set. I'm gonna give this album a 10 out of 10. Recommend all 15 of the songs that are actually songs in here as far as this fair's gonna happen. So definitely excellent with the pitch. There's only one single with some excellent type ordeals. This is the pitch. So I would definitely say about this album. This very much has the grit about it, but it also has some excellent time moments for some tear up pitches like that, just in the fairs as far as getting towards the product like some good. This one is more of a neighborhood type album. Like I feel like definitely the original Mobstability was more of like an offshoot of like Adrenaline Rush as far as what's present would kind of happen with it. Just kind of the product of like further type songs and mentalities, like the format that Twista was trying to establish when he started coming on the scene commercially within those aspects as far as what's first kind of went along with it. Just kind of a posse Twista album. This particular one, the fair behind this album, it actually has some growing room within the pitch. It's like some extra type products, and the songwriting on here is pretty excellent within the pitch. Just kind of the fair as far as saying that Liffey Stokes and Maze do a pretty excellent job of fairing some of this. Now, a lot of this, some of these type folks, there's not any legendary tracks or beats on here, and I want to say Toxic isn't really on here that much either. Some of those type folks that are from Twista with like Adrenaline Rush and Kamikaze, some of those type fairs, unfortunately, it's not as full bound. And it's not to say this is poor production fair. It really isn't, but it's just kind of pitch as far as saying just the usual kind of main time Twisted producers not on here, but there are some ones that have that relative type format. Toxic actually is on here, at least on like a spoken type bit, something like that. But the Steven Dukes cat who produces a number of songs on here is pretty excellent within those aspects. I think there's a Cuzzo cat that's on here that I remember from like Adrenaline Rush 2007. I'm gonna kind of look up and see what he produced because I want to say I've seen that producer. Yeah, he produced Whip Game Proper by with Lil Wayne from Adrenaline Rush 2007. So that's some good type ones. He did Pimp Like Me as well. Excellent type ones. He did Trouble also, which all three of those are some excellent type beats on there. And he also did Ain't No Hose. That was a blistering type one off of uh that was a blistering type one off of Adrenaline Rush 2007. But it's just in the pitch as far as saying. So the fair about this album, more or less, the only real marring thing about this product is just the fact that if you're not super familiar with Twista and some of that fairs, it's not going to do much for like the damage scores. It's not really commercial bound within pitch. I think it's probably within the sense considering that Twista was not doing that super terrific in like the late 2007 era. It's not like he wasn't. It was just the pitch as far as saying he just wasn't charting his full bound. This particular single is excellent that there was a music video pitches like that, but it's just kind of fair. It's just kind of offshoot of Twisted type territory. So it's just a pitch, but this it's easy enough to recommend. This gets 10 out of 10 pitches like that, but this kind of fair. It's just the product of like byproducts of some of those type folds of Shottown Twisted type some pitches like that, legendary tracks or some of those type folks. But within a pitch, yeah, there's one single off this product, Money to Blow, as far as this fair's gonna have an excellent type fair. It's like an excellent kind of leftover ringtone rap, kind of dance thump, I'd say, within the aspects of it. Just a venue strut I'd had to say here. Bliss as fuck as far as this fair's gonna happen. Bliss stay F, I'd definitely say within the product of it. Just some dynamite as far as this fair's gonna happen along with it. So a lot of these type ones do feel like Twista offshoots some of those particular type products within the format. And that's kind of the fair. The 4 songs that you hear Twista on here, and I'll designate these as we get to them further. I guess I could kind of do it now, but just be able to say, Get Your Money Right, which is a nice one, has Twista on there. Money to Blow, the single, has Twista on there. Nation Business has Twista on there. And then I'm a Speedknot Mobstaz has Twista on there. So it's just in the pitch as far as saying, particularly most of the songs that had Twista on there feel like leftovers from Adrenaline Rush 2007 as far as this first album, which is definitely some excellent type ordeals, pitches like that. It's just some further type products. This just feels like one that's just further club type noise. Once, going with songs like Give It Up and, Ain't No Hose and so on type ones and Creep Fast, so on type pitches and Whip Game Proper, some of those type ones off of Adrenaline Rush 2007, just within the product of further type fares. Pimp Like Me, some of those type ones, just the bangers off that particular 2007 album. Some further type products to get that particular heavy hittiness. So it's definitely a treat of an album. But yeah, this whole album I recommend. So 10 out of 10 here, I'd have to say. Some of these type ones, like Bush Made It Hard, is a real excellent type one. Like the particular fare about it, just mentioning Bush within those products, especially way out in 2008. Just the fare is talking somewhat, it's not as much full bound political minded, but it's just the pitch as far as designating that particular fare within a political type sense of the song. Just interesting type conduct that George Bush made it to like a song way out in 2008 with some good type fare. So basically, this particular song is like, this reminds like a Scarface kind of. Bush Made It Hard reminds like Scarface Win, Lose, or Draw from his 1998 album My Homies. As far as what's going to have, definitely pretty similarities to that. It's like some late day kind of grimace and dredge, I'd say, within the after effect of it, just kind of for some leftovers. By that, this is the particular product of just like food that you're kind of having around. Leftover fares in the whip, some pitches like that, leftover snacks, just kind of fares like that, just leftover blunt in the ashtray, some of those pitches within the format, just within the products of it. Good type fare, but it's just the pitch as far as saying it's kind of a dreary type one, just definitely the grimace of just like that particular dredge, just the after effect of like some after effect of kind of malaise about it. Good type tone. Gangsters Don't Dance is a nice one. This has Jim Jones on there. Excellent type pitch. He's one of the few kind of larger name type guests on here within the pitch behind it, but still some excellent type product. Gangsters Don't Dance is like this particular one's like a dope further stock kind of ringtone bangers, kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just some late 2000s kind of dance club white noise that I'd say just an overall hot type one. So definitely liking the thunder of like Money to Blow. Some of that pitch is just a further type one within those aspects. I'm gonna kind of look up some of the ones that have like the most shrill kind of full bound popularity. This is mostly like a 5-digit in popularity type album. Nothing really over 1 million plays, pitches like that. But basically, the most popular song is actually Dope Boy, which has almost 70,000 hits as far as this first counts. So that's an interesting type pitch. Surprising that one's the most particular one, but Money to Blow has almost 50,000, and for the most part, most for the most part, I'd say the songs that probably had the most fare about is just the ones that have Twista on there. The third most popular seemingly is I'm a Speedknot Mobstaz. And another nice one on the has some relative popularity, which is the second song you hear, minus the 1 minute intros, Tipping and Balling. So it's kind of the pitch. For the most part, the commonplace about this album is more or less ignored within the pitch behind it, but there are plenty of bangers on here within those aspects. Let's be honest, I would definitely say Gangsters Don't Dance is a good quality type one. Another nice one would be Cognac and Zest Buds, real good appealing type ones, like a get super twisted kind of Dracula-like malaise, I'd say, with an after effect of it here. Just some grim and enjoyable kind of residential scare as far as it's supposed to happen just within the product of it. Just very much something October bound pitches like that. It's kind of a real crisp type one with the aspects as far as it's going to go. Just get some drink, you just get held, twisted, and tore up within the products of it. Just kind of homebound typeness or just aspect of just neighborhood type crawls, pitches like that within the tone. Some gothic kind of elegance as far as what's first going to have an excellent product. Tipping and Balling is a quality one as well. It's like a sparkling and thorough kind of street surf banger to kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just a glissy kind of night embrace, I'd say, about the products of it here. Just some weave out. So this is kind of the pitch like neighborhood noise. This within the fair. This album has a little bit more neighborhood weaving compared to Adrenaline Rush 2007, where Twista was kind of more venue bound, just had more aspects of just kind of like that kind of particular type commercial aesthetic about it. I feel like some of these particular type fairs have more amidst like the actual traffic, is kind of miss the actual traffic of some of these type of things. Very similar in certain senses to like 3-6 Mafia kind of surfing pitches like that. There's some ones on here that do that. Cognac and Zest Bud, Tipping and Ballin', Money and Murder, some of these type ones. I'd say also like songs like Chicago and Raised on the Block, some of these type ones in particular, Nation Business, some of these type ones. There's another one within that relative type fair, but just some of those type ones. Thug Out of Me, some of those type fairs. But speaking of Thug Out of Me, this is a nice one. It's like a slummish and soggy kind of makeshift bleed, I'd say, within the aspects of it here. Just a workaday and usual passage kind of fairs like that. Just good for some Mickey D's and some chum along as far as this fair is going to go. So this is one of those type ones like Run the Streets by Tupac. Not as ladies bound within the pitch, but just something like Life Goes On. Kind of more like songs like Life Goes On and Run the Streets, some of those type fairs that just kind of has that dreariness type aspect. Other songs like To Live and Die in LA and White Man's World, some of those type pitches by Tupac out of 96. It's kind of the fair of like some kind of slummish kind of drear of just the after effect of like kind of like a rainy day type tug along within those pitches as far as those formats kind of happen. Just something that Tupac would kind of typically do, just more with the aspect of like the fairs behind it. Just to say more or less like a ghetto type song, not in a derogatory type sense, but just the format, just more slummish type fair. Money and Murder is a real nice one, as well as like a vintage Twista and legendary Traxxer type sound, I'd say, within the pitch behind it. Just a syrupy, kind of stuck as hell type fun within the pitch. Definitely some garage funk as far as those fairs will kind of happen with it. Yeah, definitely some garage funk pitches like that. This kind of passage of just indoor type bound, but just in the pitch of getting stuck as hell pitches like that. Sounds particular type fair is just real. Definitely feels like hella smokish type fair. Just pitches like that easily. Some red eyes, some of those type fairs within it. But definitely shop type bound similar stuff fairs. If you do have something like a shop or something like that, just the extra products and just places that are extra around the curriculum of where you would be, but just kind of in a more type fashion, like some smoke type fair, just kind of nearby indoor type fashions. Some good type products for that. So good, excellent type fair within it. Chicago is a quality ones, like a snazzy put on for the city type anthem within the pitch bond. As far as this fair is going to happen, definitely some neighborhood weaving. I'd say Aaron runs pitches like that. Some bill pays. Good to pick up some goodies. So it's like fair supply runs. So it's just the product is typical kind of surfing, just in a more a little bit more energy than compared to songs like Thug Out of Me, some of those type ones in the pitch, or Bush Made It Hard, some of those type products of it, but just typical kind of commerce with an aspect of it. More excitement and enamor as far as this shows kind of have within the tone, excellent type appeal. I'm a Speedknot Mobstaz, it's a quality one though. This has twist on here as far as these fairs gonna have an excellent type pitch. It's like a throwback to Still Feels So Good off of Kamikaze and Love Rehab off of Adrenaline Rush 2007. No R. Kelly this time, but still some good type of ordeal, some sort of wooziness. Great for some flame lounges, pitches like that, and it's kind of good for some tipping with them as far as this first guy. So definitely with them pitch is kind of the product. By flame lounge and just the aspect, Bell is nearby, pitches like that. Just lounge like some kickback within those particular type products. Pretty much in the same fashion, just where you would play songs like Love Rehab by Twista. It's an after effect, a continuation of that product from that particular album. Now, there weren't a super ton of songs like Love Rehab in that full bound fashion, but it's like a good offshoot of that particular song. It's minus like the commercial grease that R. Kelly kind of had around that time. So it's just a good pitch for some of those flames pitches like that. Standard Smoke Divas, some of those type products with an aspect of it. Other type starlet type fashions, good for tipping, like I was saying. Not talking about tipping in terms of money, but it's the pitch as far as saying it's the product of it. But Nation Business, just from the products and good type fairs. It's like a nice outdoor kind of bravado and like a mode, I'd say, about this particular song. Just some summer air with like 2000s kind of grit and push about it as far as those fairs are kind of have just some get along. So this is the fair. Further type more stock type outing type ones with the pitch as far as just like the typical traffic, some of those type fairs. Kind of more of a hustle type song, a little bit more amidst like the grid, like the standard type fashion. I was actually thinking there was going to be more songs within this fashion than there actually were within those parts. Not as many full bound kind of just flex type stunt type songs within the aspect, like some real hustle grease as far as this first going to have an elbow grease, things like that. But it is kind of fair as far as just having some of those particular type ones to just hop to it, some of those type products. Kill is a pretty good quality one. Now Twista helps out with the chorus on here. And he also kind of does with Money and Murder as well as far as this fair is going to have. So this is what I'm talking about with Twista, the aesthetic kind of being upon this album, pitches like that, similar to how Young Buck helped out 615 some of those type pitches, but the product of it. Kills like a throwback kind of late 2000s kind of auto tune and night shift traverse, I'd say, within the products of it here. It just reminds of like some Shawtown kind of thump, I'd say, within the products. Accent type fair. It's like some good for some tracks. So just kind of like the night type version of Nation Business, I'd have to say, within the fairs. Just kind of some good type fair. Twist has a pretty energetic hook within the tones behind it. It's kind of like some of these type ones. Definitely like, there's another song on here that's pretty within the aspect of it. This one's a little bit more amidst like the night past probably like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock p.m. It's just kind of the pitch as far as getting some of those type shrill type products. A good type fair. It's a Kill goes along with songs like Raised on the Block and Cognac and Zest Bud, some of those type of ordeals, just more in the later shift of the night or day as far as this first gonna have definitely, or the later day as far as this first gonna have an excellent type pitch. Speaking of Raised on the Block, this is a nice one. It's definitely has some good 3-6 Mafia kind of harnessing within the pitch behind it. It's like some usual day slag and malaise, I'd say, with an aspect of it here. Just overcast and 666 like within the ordeal. Like I was saying, good type fair. Definitely good for some evening passage and paranoia as far as this pitch can have. So this just feels like something that DJ Paul and Project Pat and Juicy J would kind of have on like a hook. Some of these type fairs, just pitches like that. So definitely the appeal about Raised on the Blocks. This just feels like a 3-6 Mafia type song, just more in like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock p.m. passage pitches like that. So some good type ordeals, definitely a highlight. Dope Boy's a quality one as well. It's like a definite hypnotic kind of heat to kind of get here. Just get super tore up pitches like that off of like Grey Goose and the like. Some of that fares within the product is some posse wild out as far as this fair's gonna have. So definitely the pitch. You and your boys, you and your dogs, you and your girls, some stuff products just within the fair as far as getting tore up just with an aspect like some go ham type aspects, go ham sandwich, some type pitches within the fair. Definitely some shrill type fashions about it. Now I think the last one I haven't talked about on here is 18 Hoes as far as these pitches kind of have. It's like an exotic and moist kind of strip club heat to kind of get within the products of it here. Excellent song to have, drop it low and shock as far as this pitch can have within the tones. Some good venue ambience that I'd say here, just good song to drink to, pitches like that and bass as far as those fairs can happen and bask as far as those fairs gonna have. So definitely the pitch, definitely in need of like a strip club type song within the pitch as far as those fairs kind of go. Just the pitch. Definitely good to get one of those type tunes compared to like some of the club type songs like Gangsters Don't Dance and Money to Blow, some type products. It's just good to have like a more strip club type jump with them pitch as far as like a more ferocious kind of definite after hours type product, not less kind of commercial within a sense, a little bit more sleaze and grime about it within those pitches. Very similar to songs like Pimp Like Me. I guess 18 Hoes would be more or less like the song like Pimp Like Me from that particular album. I would definitely say Pimp Like Me is a strip club type anthem within pitches like that. So 18 Hoes like the follow up to that particular one. Doesn't have Twist on here, would have been excellent type pitch to have got him on here, but Toxic is on here of Twista producers, so some good type fares. And just to say also, Twist is also on Nation Business, that particular one, like that hustle mode type fare. And then there's another one, like I was saying, that was oh yeah, there's one more song I haven't talked about on here, which is Get Your Money, right? And this has Twista on here as well. This reminds like 7 Day Hustle and Give It Up by Twista as far as this feels gonna have definitely within pitch. Feels like a it definitely feels like a Twisted kind of 2007 outtake as far as this feels gonna happen. Definitely some venue claps as far as this feels gonna happen along with it. Definitely some good late day kind of summer evening type noise within the pitch. Just the same sort of fair, same sort of energy as Give It Up. Just kind of feels like a further type product just within the aspect. If Give It Up is more 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock p.m., I'd probably say Get Your Money Right might be more like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock type p.m. pitches, or 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock type p.m. pitches like that. As more drinks are in your system, so it's that fares like the women, this ladies start to get more turned up. Some of the type products within, so it's excellent type fair within the pitch. So yeah, definitely what I'd say within these fairs. So easy 10 out of 10 this album gets this in the product. The social score I'd probably give. I'm gonna give the social score like a 9.75 out of 10 because I look within the pitch as far as saying it does have the fares on here, definitely some blistering type appeal, but just the fare, I really question how as like the full bound amount of times that folks are gonna know the Speedknot Mobstaz apart from Twisted by name just within these pitches. Liffey, Stokes, and Mays within the pitch behind it. Now, it's not to say I don't like I do own this album pitches like that, but it's just from the fair as far as separating the two of them from which the pitches, the who they are within the pitches. It's not like it's not to be designated, but it's just from the pitch as far as saying the product of it kind of it's just the casual fare of it is just less high within those aspects. But I definitely feel like Money to Blow is like a banging type one. Definitely designates some good type fare of having that particular fare, and they do have some standout type songs without Twista. It's actually a pretty excellent type of ordeal that Twisted did not help out. That Twisted did not help out with the sound more than he did because it's just the pitch as far as saying that they do stand on their own pretty damn well with the pitch. I definitely say some good ones on here would be like songs like Cognac and Zest Bud's real good. Tipping and Ballin's pretty excellent on here. Gangsters Don't Dance pretty excellent on here. 18 Hoes, these are some immediate type ones. Dope Boy's pretty good within these products of it. Just some good type products as far as this fair's gonna happen. Kill is real nice as well, despite the fact that it has Twist on the hook. Still some excellent type products. So there are some ones on here. Money and Murder is like a very similar to Legendary Traction type production on here that works really extremely within those pitches. So it's just within format as far as those fair's gonna have. But definitely the pitch. In terms of future, like Speedknot Mobstaz has not been around as full bound, but apparently they did drop a couple of mixtapes. So I'm going to get to those down the road as far as those fair's going to happen. Definitely excellent with some of the fair. I'm not as full bound sure as to how many times Twista is on those, but we'll find out within the eventuality of it as far as those fairs are going to happen. Also within the product, as far as saying that, yeah, this, I think I gave Mobstability 1 a pretty high score. I've reviewed plenty of Twista. All that stuff's in the Twista playlist. So I'll definitely check out a bunch of these within those products. So just say 10 out of 10 pitches like that. So they do have some further type products. This is a classic, even though it's more underground with them. Pitch still has plenty of good casual type bops on here and pitches like that. This is more about the learning curve of fucking with them and kind of the product that they do stand on their own without Twist, despite the fact that he helps out a good portion at times.